Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I am your host, Carlito Santiago. Alongside me, of course, the voluptuous, elegant, and fucking mouthy Luis Santiago. And we're here to talk about what the hell happened on SmackDown in Bologna. Sounds like bologna, but mixed, Italy. I'm guessing you weren't able to catch SmackDown, all right? Okay, so that happened. Hopefully he joins back in the call. I don't know if he will. Boy, this has become the problem for us. You good? Okay. All right. So, I was saying, you weren't able to catch SmackDown, were you? Yeah, so they were at 3. I got out at like 2:30 yesterday. Yeah, right? Hold on. Yeah, so SmackDown kicked off. We're going to do the kickoff. SmackDown kicked off with a quick introduction from the announcers, of course. But after that, Randy Orton made his way to the ring to kick things off in Italy. Obviously, the international crowds are so much better than the U.S. crowds because they sing to the songs of the people's entrances and they know the words. Of course. I'm a human being. For real. Before the Viper could utter a single word, Kevin Owens arrived and said Orton didn't deserve what he did to him. He said he can forgive Orton for picking Cody if he can forgive Owens for attacking him. He said he saved Carmelo Hayes from Orton's punt to save him from himself. The prizefighter then went on to say that him and Orton could chase the tag team titles at WrestleMania because they were so close to winning them a few months ago. Orton told him to basically shove it up his ass, or for the kids where it doesn't shine. His apology. Owens tried, his apology is worth shit. So the Viper. Yeah, I don't remember that either. What the fuck? I think he's just pulling shit out of his ass. Might as well take that apology, shove it up your ass, and keep pulling more shit out. Anyway, the Viper said he's going to kick Owens' head off at WrestleMania, as the announcers seemed to confirm the match would be happening. So, as I've said I would do, every time a WrestleMania match has been confirmed, I have decided to put a star next to the match is confirmed. Clearly, this match is confirmed. We're just waiting for the confirmation. That's the triple threat match between the women's championship, but we're safe to say that this is to happen, and everything else is started most likely to happen. But yeah, this was a logical route for WWE to take with this feud. Both men sold the segment well, but it was pretty much a run-of-the-mill stuff, so overall it was a C+. Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura took on Big Jim and Damian Priest. I don't know why they're giving him the nickname Big Jim. He's not even that big. What? Big Jim, small Jim. Or because he's the older brother, right? Like Jay's young, but Jimmy's older. Even though they were born the same fucking day. Ah! I want to see Big Jim. No. Okay. Damian Priest and Jimmy Uso teamed up to take on Shinsuke Nakamura and Drew McIntyre this week. During McIntyre's entrance, Priest marched up the aisle to begin the fight. So, Jimmy and McIntyre were the first legal men, and after an initial salvo from Uso, the Scottish psychopath threw him across the ring with a belly-to-belly suplex. We went to commercial like we usually do. After a break, the Archer of Infamy began to take it to Nakamura. Jim and, of course, McIntyre were taken out of the ringside before Priest was able to hit the South of Heavens on Nakamura for the 1-2-3 victory. This was about as down the middle as a match can get. The post-match attack from McIntyre helped further the feud with him and Priest, but the tag team match wasn't much of anything. Everyone looked good. It just didn't feel like there was any urgency. So this is another C+, with the babyfaces winning. Yeah. If you can't tell so far, this show is starting to be boring. What? For fuck's sake. Fuck Kevin Nash. Fuck you, Kevin Nash. Now, no, fuck Kevin Nash. Fuck Kevin Nash. Fuck Kevin Nash. Well, now, fuck now Kevin Nash. But like back then he was all right. Braun Strowman. That's what Bleacher Report wrote. Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu clashed again. Also, thanks to Chris Muller for this. Strowman and Fatu has had many clashes in recent months, and they met once again on Friday Night SmackDown. This feud was taken off in WWE thanks to both men having the ability to get the crowd excited for a very with very simple gestures and being monster powerhouses. That's a plus. The Monster Among Men pushed Fatu to the corner and tried to take control, but the Samoan Werewolf fought back immediately. As it looked like Jacob was in a kind of tough spot because of the Monster Among Men being so powerful and big, Tama Tonga hopped up on the apron and got thrown. Solo then came in, caused an interference, which drew a DQ. I don't know why we're doing DQ finishes here, because WWE is not ready to pull the trigger and have one of them win. Well, that's why you just do a last man standing match, or you don't fucking put two people in the same ring that you don't want to lose, right? You got two people who clearly need the win, so you do a DQ so you can keep furthering this. A count out. You did a DQ last week. Why didn't you do a count out here? Two big men who couldn't get back into the ring from the count of 10. It builds up to what you did with fucking Strowman and Bronson Reed on Raw. I don't understand why WWE can't do it here with like a double count out or something. Isn't that what we talked about this? Isn't that what you thought too? Lewis? Oh shit. I think he cut out again. That's what Lewis thought though. He thought it was a count out victory as well. Yep. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Lewis thought it was a count-out victory as well. So, but again, they don't do anything new. And this is the type of shit that we don't want to see. We don't want to see repetitiveness again. We already did that under Vince. We don't want to do it under Triple H. So Triple H, please, could you give us something different? Clean finish. Maybe, I mean, you could do a count-out and keep furthering it behind, and then do a last-minute standing match for something big and spectacular. But now Strowman's going to get a United States Championship match because of this DQ. And which is going to lead to fucking Jacob and Tama, and this whole bloodline shit needs to fucking end. This whole bloodline shit needs to end. Immediately. Right, Lewis? This bloodline shit has to end. This bloodline shit it just has to end. There's nothing new for it. They did a DQ last week, and they do a DQ here. And I told them, I was like, before you cut out, I told them, I was like, didn't you think that this ended in a count out? Yeah. What the fuck? So, Fatu was upset that he was robbed of his chance of beating Strowman. LA Knight showed up, lent Strowman a hand, but Strowman was declared the winner, which meant he was getting a title opportunity, hopefully in the near future. While most of this match was fun, ending this with a DQ felt like lazy booking, which it was, especially since this is how their last match ended. Solo and Fatu appear to have some issues to work out so they could lead to something interesting, but the fans were still robbed of a clean win because WWE doesn't want to commit to putting one guy over the other. Graded a B-. Honestly, gets nothing. It shouldn't get anything. Yeah, right? With us finding out that his fucking favorite wrestler is the Boogeyman. Which is not bad. It's not bad. Just, it makes sense when you tell him going fucking shaking wild in the ring. But he got all happy when he first met him. Oh, yeah. So Charlotte and Tiffany had a conversation in a split screen to hype up their WrestleMania match, which it didn't work. It got a little awkward because it appeared they either didn't have a script or instructions, or they ignored them and just went, off and just ad-libbed. So, yeah. Fuck you. What did you say? Fuck you. What did you say to me? It just didn't work like that, man. Hey. That's right. No, great. We move on next to, of course, Vega. Zelina Vega taking on Piper Nivens. Zelina Vega took on Piper... What? Well, Vince would have fucking done it. First off, Vince would have kept Vega, and then Vince would have still, Piper Nivens would have been by Doudrop. Nah, her name would have been fucking Maria Vega. Maria. She reminds me of a West Side Story. Nah, so No, no. So Vega took on fucking Nivens in a singles match, hoping that a win would get her closer to a shot at the U.S. title, held by, of course, Chelsea Green. Well, I can tell you that all that went down the drain because the huge size disparity allowed Nivens to dominate her smaller opponent most of the time, but Vega's speed and agility allowed her to stay in the fight for as long as she could. What you would think is a squash is practically just a normal WWE Giant versus Cruiserweight match in 2K. Practically because it's good for business. So, this match lasted through a break and into the next segment. Picked up some steam a bit, but it never quite got out of second gear. Vega's capable of working at a fast pace, so it was surprising to see her slow down a bit, yada, yada, yada. Of course, this wasn't the best we've seen of these competitors, but it wasn't bad either. Nivens getting a win is always a plus. Size. No, Niven. You see what I did there? See, I'm a dick. I know. It was a good follow-up. That was perfect. If everybody thinks that was a perfect little fat joke, please comment down below. No, Nivens was able to score the win. Nah, Vince would have fucking made Vega win. But here, I don't understand. I don't get why Nivens winning was important. The Miss Piggy drop. This was graded a B- and probably the only good action we're gonna see. It was, yeah. Also, let's not forget in this match, me and Lewis saw a clip. Chelsea Green slapped the fuck out of Zelina Vega twice, supposedly. She missed the first time. She missed slapping Zelina. She missed slapping Zelina, and then she slapped her again. I don't know how you missed that. She's hanging on the what? She's hanging on the second rope, right? Yeah, she's like hanging on the second goddamn rope. I don't understand either. No. It's all right. I want to mention that I did not mention this. I should mention this now because I did not mention this I didn't mention this on the last week of SmackDown Summary. There was 2 vignettes shown. That one's possibly Aleister Black, and then this one most definitely is Rey Fenix. There's no doubt about it. Rey Fenix is also from Fightful Select confirmed to have signed with the WWE. So, like I said, when we look at the media, we look at the coverage of like who's actually closest to the WWE. Most Dave Meltzer is somewhat close, even though he's very up Tony. Even though his head is up Tony's ass. So Fightful, Dave Meltzer, and fucking PW Insider. They're the closest to the WWE. So they've confirmed that Rey Fenix is signed. Here's the thing. Now we're gonna have 2 Reys. We're going to have 2 Reys in the WWE. How do you feel about that? Oh, you're glitching out. You're lagging out. I can't hear you. He's in a bad part of Springfield, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Anyway. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, Liv Morgan took on Jade Cargill. So one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions was in action this week when Morgan took on Cargill in her first match since returning from injury. Cargill took control right away because Morgan's pretty smaller than her. But Morgan eventually made a comeback, almost hit the Oblivion in the first minute. That kick-started a sequence of counters that ended with Morgan taking a fallaway slam. Morgan and Raquel tried to leave early but was chased down. Morgan turned the tables and gained the upper hand to go right into another commercial. The crowd started to come alive and chant a lot as the show returned. Cargill built up a head of steam with a series of high-pack moves before Naomi grabbed one of the title belts and fucking hit Jade Cargill with it. For Morgan to hit the Oblivion and score the win with the help from Naomi. So this was a surprising outcome for Cargill's return match, even if it was done to further a larger story. The match was decent, but having another dirty ending on this show took away from some of the impact of the finish. Naomi's post-match attack was fun, though, too, as she was wailing... Let me move the... As she was wailing on her, wearing caution tape all the way around her. Let me tell you something, man. The gear that these wrestlers wear are fucking amazing. They are great. I'm sorry this keeps happening with Lewis. Oh, he's back. Okay. Okay. Yeah, up the street with shitty fucking internet. Oh, this is great to see fucking plus this Morgan. If you're done with SmackDown by this moment, I understand. Listen, this is so interesting to me. Look at the gradings, guys. Like, C plus for Morgan and Cargill, right? You would think that'd be like a B plus at best. But they gave a fucking B minus to Nevins and Zelina Vega, two women who are not really featured on the show. If this does not speak volume, I don't know what the fuck else does. It's the way of how they're booking, man. This is why they need fucking writers and producers. I'm right here. You can hit me up. If you need 5 years of experience of writing, well, guess what? I don't have that, but I can offer you some ideas. All right? Don't pick up people like Vince Russo and shake the shit out of him for ideas. Okay, well, the Los Garzas took on the Lost Street Profits. Anyway. Lost Profits. Yeah. Yo, they should, honestly, they ain't got no profits anymore. They got their theme song changed. They got fucking Def Rebelled. They should go, they're no longer the Street Profits. They're more like the Street Cred. Los Garzas took on the Street Creds. Like, they lost their Profits name. No, I'm kidding. They're the Street Profits. But I'm just saying, like, they're going to change their theme song. Might as well change their name to the Street Creds. Anyway. The Street Creds. They can't change their... You really can't change their name to the Street Gains. Yeah, right? So, Ford and Dawkins came out. Ford and Dawkins came out to give a promo about becoming the new tag team champions last week. As soon as their music stopped, chants of "You Deserve It" ran out. Now, of course, they didn't say new music, so... You know, moment of silence for the, you know, I break the sweat like nobody can, because that's... No. But they did deserve this. They did deserve to win those tag team titles. I mean, I did call it. I predicted it. It fucking came out. If you don't believe me, go back and listen to what I said on the Royal Rumble predictions. Legado del Fantasma came out to complain. That's right. Soak it in. Keep saying it a few times. You'll get there. So, Legado That's right. That's what Legado del Fantasma did. And then they were quickly interrupted by the number one contenders, Pretty Deadly. This led to Garza's taking on the Profits in a non-title bout. So we returned to see the match already in progress because they had to take a break. What up? Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly are the number one contenders, even though they took on the Garzas here. Ew. Their whole little, like, honestly, oh, man. It's kind of hard to make fun of Pretty Deadly. Like, you know what? Their name, pretty easy to make a joke. But, like, them as their characters, like, they're fucking, that's why I call them, like, Elton John Prince and fucking Aid Kit Wilson. Well, they were in the process. Angel and Berto seemed to have forward reeling with some double team offense for quite some time, but Dawkins came in with a tornado, like a tornado off a hot tag. It took interference from Escobar to stop his rampage. With two teams that have this kind of athleticism, it didn't take them much effort to put on one of the best matches on WTV this week. Well, probably the best match of this fucking show, honestly. Both teams had plenty of chances to shine. Ford took to the skies with a massive frog splash to get the win, and this was solid work. At one point, which I saw, the moment where Ford landed on his feet with a double press slam from the top rope was awesome, and Angel Umberto sold that moment perfectly, and the crowd ate that shit up. This was great at B+, and honestly, tell you, the best match of the fucking show that you're going to get, until, of course, the segment in the end. You have something to say, Lewis? What about frog splashes, huh? What about the Red Sox this season? Fucking... yeah, the two sports that we love the most. Oh, God. Well, other than the final word, let's be honest. Like, we know this final segment is graded an A already, so... The final segment this week was the confrontation between Reigns, Punk, and Rollins. The Tribal Chief was out first. Spoke a few about... before he invited anyone else to confront him. Rollins joined in and said Reigns should have let him finish Punk off when he still had the chance. This then brought out the straight edge superstar, where Punk made it very clear he wanted to thank Heyman in particularly for serving Roman Reigns on a silver platter, while also reminding that the Tribal Chief wouldn't have made it to the Royal Rumble if it wasn't for Punk saving his family's ass, and Punk still being owed a favor. So there's that. Punk ended up going after Reigns, which made Rollins go after Punk. All three men started to brawl and pull him apart. I'm going to be honest with you. Let's remove Punk. I think this entire feud would have been, like, I think this is how WWE would have booked Moxley if he had joined WWE. Like, if it wasn't Punk, if AEW kept Punk and Moxley went over to WWE again. Think this triple threat match would have been with, I think they wouldn't have done Punk. They would have done Moxley. I think they would have done the Shield triple threat match that we were almost promised to get at a WrestleMania. You're right. The right guy would have went over. So this ended with all of these guys at one point, Punk pointing to the sign first, and then Rollins, and then Reigns pointing to the WrestleMania sign, which all three of them will be going to in a triple threat match. It's made official. It's already been, which is kind of weird because how did we go from Rollins, Punk, and McIntyre to fucking Roman to Punk, Rollins, and Reigns? But we all know that Punk's winning. At some point, we got to come to realize that Punk may be winning. It's probably, because, I mean, he's not getting the main event spot, but he's getting a match at Mania. Yeah, at this point, he's probably not going to get it. Maybe next year, but it sucks. It sucks. He had it. He was supposed to. In 2024, it was supposed to be him. They did Rhodes. Or, sorry, 2023. Right? No. Where? No, okay, I was right then. 2024. I was right. My mistake. I was right. 2024, he was supposed to win it. Cody wasn't supposed to get the back-to-back. It was supposed to be Punk, who would face Rollins, take the title, but they ended up twisting it and making McIntyre, whatever. So, overall, this is how SmackDown ended. SmackDown ended with all three men fighting with a dozen officials trying to separate them. As a whole, this week's show felt lacking. So, really, take this with a grain of salt, Triple H, please. I know you're watching from a burner account. The tag match with Los Garzas and the Profits was a lot of fun, but nothing else on the show stood out as something you need to go out of your way to see. Like Lewis said, you can go catch out some baseball or something else if you're not interested in this. WWE usually makes the international shows feel somewhat special, but the only thing about this week's episode that was special was the lively crowd, which, given WWE does really great in international crowds. Italy gave WWE a lot for very little in return, which sucks, but hey. Most of the matches were passable. What were you going to say? All right. Well, most of the matches were passable, but a lot of what we got between them felt Flores or super floor. I don't know. They did some work to build WrestleMania, so it wasn't a total wash. This was, as a whole, this was great to see. So yeah, the ones that are starred are the ones that are... That is still... Actually, I'm going to rewrite this one. Because this could happen, and even though I don't want to see it happen. Okay, so to the possible WrestleMania matches, it's down to these two. It most likely will be this because there's not that many women. There's not really a women's match. It's either going to be Solo and Jacob or Cargill and Naomi at Mania. Most likely, Cargill and Naomi will be at Mania. Well, it'll be night one. You can bet your ass that. It'll be night one. Again, they're most likely to do 12 matches, both 6 matches a night. So, again, we'll be pretty good because we'll be here. We'll be fucking streaming it. Well, not like showing you guys it, but showing our reactions to it. But yeah, this has been the SmackDown. Yeah. Well, we're gonna set up everything so it's there. But I know, right? Okay. I'll tell you something. That's not the truth. The truth is that the yeet movement is going to fucking happen. Yeah. Yeet movement is happening. And we both agree that John Cena is winning that 17th World Championship. There's no denying that shit. You'll see our rage happen when Cena does not win the title. But hey, you're walking out. Anyway, SmackDown Summary will happen next week. You're not working Tuesday or Saturday next week, right? Okay, so I believe Lewis will be here again. Okay, so yeah. So, SmackDown Summary next week, and we'll be here for WrestleMania. So, until then, we'll see you guys next